The greatest gymnast that we've ever seen.
Extraordinary moments.
Beautiful night for some football.
Joey Logano steps into history.
Scotty Scheffler takes it all.
A lot of stars for you on Sunday Night Football.
Hello and welcome to Kansas City, my favorite place in the world and my hometown. I'm Heidi Gardner. I'm a lifelong Chiefs fan. I'm very excited about this game tonight. In fact, the Chiefs could clinch the AFC West. My fingers are crossed. I don't know what's going to happen in the game, but Maria, take it away.
I got your back, Heidi, okay? And we're going to see you a little bit later to help kick off this game, but your guy, Patrick Mahomes, and your Chiefs can actually clinch their 9th straight division title here tonight. They're hosting Justin Herbert and the Chargers, who are looking to take one step closer to the playoffs. But elsewhere in the AFC, and right now, the Bills are trying to chase down the Chiefs for the 1 seed. They're at the Rams, and they were down by as many as 17 in this one, Chris.
It's back and forth. It's Matt Stafford and Josh Allen shootout. Back shoulder throw here to Mac Hollins, 38-35. A lot of time left in the fourth quarter, Maria.
Yeah, we'll see if Josh Allen can pull out a win. Meanwhile, the Seattle Seahawks are trying to keep pace and hold on to that 1 seed in the division.
Maria, what you saw, you're looking for a tall glass of Charbonnet. Charbonnet right through the middle. The Arizona defense cannot keep up with Seattle today.
I take a sip of that for sure. We'll see if they get the win. A minute and 54 seconds left in that game. The 49ers are rolling, though, despite the fact that there is no Christian McCaffrey in this.
Yeah, Niners need a win to stay in the fight here. No McCaffrey, no Mason, no problem. Isaac Guerendo takes charge and finds pay dirt.
Well, now Guerendo has a foot injury. We'll keep an eye on that one. Welcome inside the studio. Maria Taylor, Devin McCourty, Jason Garrett here with you. Now, remember last Sunday, guys, it was all about the road team. This Sunday, in the early window, it was all about some home cooking. Big impact were the home teams. Jason, that includes the Vikings. We thought it was going to be Kirk Cousins, who was the homecoming king. Not so much in this one.
Yeah, Cousins comes back to Minnesota. No homecoming for him. The guy who replaced him, Sam Darnold, put on an absolute show today. 347 yards, 5 touchdowns. Addison caught 3. Jefferson caught 2. Most importantly, they won the game. They're 11-2 and within 1 game of the Detroit Lions.
And that complimentary defense of the Vikings, Brian Flores, that defense, they hit Kirk Cousins, and it changed the games. Cousins played well, but the turnovers was a difference for the Vikings. But how about Tampa Bay? They're taking over the NFC South. It seems like each year we're like, who's going to win the NFC South? Tampa Bay, 2 wins over Carolina and the Raiders. Look like they're in control of this division now.
Yeah, Atlanta going this way, Tampa Bay going this way. Good time of year to do that.
Those are some of the headliners, but the biggest headliner and takeaway for tonight is Steve Kornacki is back, okay? And he'll have more on the NFC South coming up. But first, let's get the Week 14 headliners. For that, we go over to Chris Sims.
Oh, yeah, we got one of our specials here. Saquon Barkley, right? Philadelphia chasing history, trying to chase down Eric Dickerson and that 2,100-yard rushing mark. He's still on pace after 124 yards today. The passing game was not very good in Philadelphia today. They needed Saquon Barkley and the defense. It was a lot of really impressive 5- and 10-yard runs. And we know this guy also, when he gets tackled, when he gets hit, he can break arm tackles and make special things happen. That offense is running through Saquon right now. Yeah, let's go to the other side of the state. The Pittsburgh Steelers, looking like the steel curtain of the old days. Changing point of the game right here. Cleveland in control. Keanu Benton gets the interception and really never relinquished after this point. Cam Hayward had 2 sacks. He was all over Jameis Winston. They get the big 4th down stop right here. That was about all she wrote. The Pittsburgh Steelers defense phenomenal today. Been phenomenal all year. And guys, showdown next week, Pennsylvania style. Philadelphia versus the Steelers. Ooh, come on. I like it.
And how about this for the Eagles? If Arizona loses, they will go ahead and clinch a spot in the playoff. And Chris, we already had a showdown. I won, you lose.
Oh, thank you.
Let's get it. Jack Collinsworth, we got Rodney Harrison and Tony Dungy hanging out in Kansas City right outside of Arrowhead Stadium.
What is happening, Maria? We are out here at the home of the champs. 5 games to play. They're on top of the AFC again, sitting right there where we expected them to be. They're 11-1, Coach, but it hasn't been as dominant as it sounds. It's a different style we've been seeing them win with.
It really is. A lot of tight games, and tonight I expect the same thing. We've got Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert, but it's not going to be explosive. It's going to be tight, low scoring, and relying on the defense.
I thought Coach Harbaugh has done a wonderful job with this offense, but I still think it's too conservative. I want him to open it up a little bit more and let Justin Herbert do his thing, especially against this secondary of the Kansas City
But you
Chiefs.
played with Jim Harbaugh, and you know his mentality. It's Big Ten, rough, tough, play defense, run the ball. That's what we're going to see tonight.
Hey, we just found out a few minutes ago as well, Ladd McConkey is going to be out for L.A. That is
that'll
a big
mean
loss.
more runs.
He is dealing with the knee and a shoulder injury. As you know, Coach Dungy, there is no place quite like a nighttime game in Kansas City with the fireworks going on. It's the only tailgate in the country. You find Andy Reid hanging out with the Grinch. We're getting you set for Sunday Night Football. Chargers Chiefs coming up.
Welcome back. The Bills are trying to keep pace with the Chiefs in the AFC, and they are in a battle in L.A. right now.
Yeah, it's a shootout, Maria. It is big 4th down right here, 4th and 5. Stafford finds Tutu Atwell over the middle. Long drive going on right now. They're trying to close it out. They don't want Josh Allen to get the ball back.
Yeah, no decision-making there. We're going for it on 4th. That game right now is on Fox. To the highlights we go. The Jaguars taking on the Titans into the 4th quarter. Very aggressive here where the Titans on 4th and 3.
Yeah, maybe too aggressive. This is the second time Tennessee goes for it down and close instead of going for a field goal. The second time they get shut out, they lose 10-6.
Yeah, they were 0-3 on 4th downs. Very frustrated Will Levis. They are eliminated from playoff contention for the 3rd straight year. All right, we've got the Saints on the road taking on the Giants. Before the game, 90 minutes before, this plane flying a sign above, please fix the dumpster fire. Okay, so that's the message being sent. Yeah, you don't want that. Let's go to the 3rd quarter. The Giants, some good news. We got some for you.
This is good. When you haven't had an interception in this long, I mean, I don't know what ball drills, I don't know what they were doing in practice, but they finally get one. The drought is over.
Yes, the longest streak, 11 games without an interception. That was in NFL history. They haven't had an interception since week 1, so that's the good news that I have for you. But then the 4th quarter right here, trying to tie it up with the field goal.
After a long drive, you set this up, it gets blocked, and you can see right here, this is not a penalty. They scouted, they saw, put hands on the back of the guy. Brian Brzee jumps over and is able to get the block. Big play by the Saints.
Big move by Darren Rizzi. How about this? The New Jersey native goes back into Giants territory and gets the victory. All right, let's talk about some news and coaching. Bill Belichick being tied to the coaching vacancy at UNC. And what is the latest that we're hearing on that, Floria?
Well, I'm told he's very surprised he hasn't heard from any NFL teams. He's free and clear. He can talk to anybody. 3 teams currently have vacancies: the Bears, the Saints, and the Jets. None of them have reached out to him. And last year he had 1 interview with your Falcons, no offer. If he gets shut out again, where else is he going to go? Sure. Unless he's going to Canada, he's going to go to a college team.
He's not going to Canada, that's for sure. And I got to see him back in September, and the thing that stuck out to me was he missed coaching. The media is great, he enjoys that, but he wants to coach football. So I would be surprised to see him coaching young 17, 18, 19-year-old kids. It would be a little tough, I think, for him, but I think he wants to be back around ball, and he has a lot to give to football.
Now, I don't know if this is a coincidence or not, but UNC is playing in the Fenway Bowl against UConn. That's like a short drive for Bill if he were to become, yes, the head coach. All right, you know that Tony Dungy, you know, he's on site hanging out in Kansas City. He's talking to Justin Herbert right now.
A little offense.
I love that. Maybe he'll tell us what he's talking about a little bit later in the show. Something tells me that he will.
You can't make this up. Let him eat.
This is Football Night in America, served by Applebee's.
Remember those Bills trying to keep pace with the Chiefs? Well, how about this? Stafford and Puka putting together a phenomenal game.
Yeah, they can't keep pace with the Rams right now. All-out blitz by the Buffalo Bills. Perfect play call, inside tunnel screen. Puka Nacua, 162 yards receiving. Going to be tough on the Bills to come back, Maria.
Yeah, and give him that touchdown, too. All right, let's get back out to Jack, Tony, and Rodney in Kansas City.
And Maria, there is a lot of Rams fans here. The crowd erupted after that score. And Jim Harbaugh, reputation for creating quarterback-friendly environments everywhere he goes. It has been the same for Justin Herbert. 0 interceptions in the last 10 games. And tonight, a chance to tie Tom Brady for the longest streak without an interception. One of the first moves that Jim Harbaugh made was taking Joe Alt with the 5th overall pick. And earlier today, Coach Dungy caught up with the Chargers rookie at right tackle.
All right, Joe, first time in Arrowhead Stadium. What does it mean to you to play in a place where your dad was such a great player for the Chiefs?
Yeah, it's definitely a special moment to be able to, come back here. Obviously came here a ton as a kid, and being able to, come back as a player now is a really special moment for me.
What are the emotions like for you?
It's you're trying to keep as calm as possible. Obviously a really cool experience for me, but, the biggest task at hand is, playing the Chiefs tonight, so I got to stay focused on that.
Well, it's a noisy place. What does that mean for an offensive lineman?
Yeah, it's obviously extremely noisy place, so you got to be, on with your communication. If that's verbal or nonverbal, you got to know what you're doing and just really trust the guy next to you.
And what has Coach Harbaugh's message been to you guys this week coming in?
Yeah, we know this is going to be, a 15-round boxing match, and that's what it's going to be. And we got to be ready to, withstand every single blow and continue to fight and, see who comes out on top at the end.
All right, good luck.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, it is. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Good interview, Coach.
That's what a tackle should look like in the NFL.
Business, a big man who's all business.
Coach. I just want to ask about this, Coach. It's that blue-collar mentality, and Coach Harbaugh, he wants that bruising style. Plenty of other coaches want that style too, but they can't do it. How does Coach Harbaugh create that everywhere he goes?
Well, first of all, you take the 5th pick and you don't draft a shiny weapon. You draft a big offensive tackle, but that's his mindset. We're going to be tough. We're going to be physical. We're not fooling anybody. This is going to be charge of football.
Yeah, when I look at the Chiefs defensively, they've struggled with communication in the secondary. So what I'm being told is they're going to simplify the defense, allow these guys not to have to worry about overthinking. They can play fast and they can play physical.
Well, they shouldn't have to think too much, because I can tell you the Chargers are going to come out with an aggressive running attack, play action passes off that. It's going to be a simple game.
And one thing, Coach, about the Chiefs, they rely on experience as opposed to just talent. So this team's going to be okay.
And you mentioned Kansas City, that secondary, some of the issues they've had. It's been Jalen Watson who got hurt at that cornerback spot.
Big injury.
Really a big injury. We were talking about that earlier, Coach. They've been searching for answers inside the building, outside the building. So far, that search really just continues.
No, they're struggling at that right corner position. I think they're even going to work out another corner next week. So they need to make it happen.
I think you're right. As they continue to watch the Rams out here, and they are rooting hard for that 1 seed. We're counting you down to kickoff at the home of the champs.
Touchdown! Jordan Addison is on fire! Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Fire the cannons. That's the dagger. He's fighting.
We're in first place. We'll take wins. I don't really care how it looks.
Touchdown, Dolphins win. John Smith.
Hey, here's the win at OT. I'm still on the highway now.
Who's got it better than us?
Football Night in America is brought to you by Applebee's, the official grill and bar sponsor of the NFL. And by Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
Jim Harbaugh and Andy Reid both coming off winning a championship last season. Jim Harbaugh won that national championship. Andy Reid a Super Bowl. And Reid's also coming off of a role in a Hallmark movie. Holiday Touchdown, a Chiefs love story. Look at him. He's actually a pretty good actor. We've seen it in commercials. Now he's in a movie. You can watch it on Hallmark and Peacock a little bit later this month. Let's get into the highlights. The Jets taking on the Dolphins. The Jets have 9 losses, and Aaron Rodgers has not lost 10 games since 2008. But the Jets were rolling early.
Aaron Rodgers played his best game with the Jets. That's old Q8, the old West Coast offense. He found Adams for the touch.
Jets led by 8 to start the 4th quarter. Then Tua is like, I got some weapons myself.
Yeah, how about this combination? Tyreek Hill, one of his best games recently. He's tough to guard down in there close.
Yeah, they convert the 2-pointer, which ties the ball game up. And then later in the 4th, the big 3rd and 21.
This is huge. Adams on the sidelines. The back shoulder gets him in field goal range, but he stays inbound, and the clock continues to tick.
Well, yeah, the Jets go up on the ensuing Anderson-Carlson field goal, but now Tua gets to go working to try to force overtime.
He sure does. When that clock stops, Tua gets his chance. He finds Tyreek one more time.
Yeah, and here we go. Let's go into OT. Tua just 1 incompletion on a 70-yard game-winning drive.
Yeah, he was on fire. 6 out of 7. He found Jonnu 3 times for the game-winning touch.
So the Dolphins, 2 games behind the Broncos for the last AFC playoff spot, and they have won 4 of their last 5. Meanwhile, the Jets eliminated from playoff contention for the 14th straight season. The Browns taking on the Steelers. Jameis, yes, we know, the preacher. He is in the building.
Auntie and uncle, I'm on TV.
Let's go. Big turning point in the game, Sim.
Big turning point. Screen pass right here. Felt like Cleveland had the momentum. Keanu Benton, great catch on the interception right there. gets a little return yardage, and that set off the Pittsburgh Steelers offense.
Yeah, this is what it sets up. Najee Harris punching it in for the 1-yard touchdown. The Steelers go up 10-7. Now remember, no George Pickens in this game, out with the hamstring, but no problem.
No problem. We're seeing resurgence Russell Wilson. Quick decisions, on-the-money throws, new target Mike Williams, back shoulder. Might have been a little push-off. McCourty said so. I think he's right, but they'll take it. They don't call that much. Good catch by him, and then we see more. Look at this. We saw a little of this last week, Maria. Nobody open, find a little lane in the pocket, zoom, laser down the middle to Freiermuth. That looks like old Seattle Seahawks Russell Wilson to me.
Yeah, right now the Steelers 6-1 as he's a starter. Oh, look at Sierra in the building. The Steelers stole the Browns' goodies. You get it if you're a Sierra fan. Let's get to a PFT update brought to you by Accenture. Big day for the Steelers D, and you talked to Cam Hayward after the game.
Yeah, you know, week 12 against the Browns in the snow in Cleveland. They had 1 sack and 1 interception of quarterback Jameis Winston. Today, 3 sacks, 2 interceptions. So I asked Cam, surely you learned something 17 days ago that you could use this time around against Jameis Winston. He said, no, that wasn't the case at all. We just executed better this time around. And Chris mentioned earlier the showdown next week in Philadelphia between the Steelers and the Eagles. Cam said the Steelers have already talked about it like it's an old school high school championship game, state championship between the Steelers and the Eagles in 7 days.
Oh, Eagles, you said. Well, let's talk about how they played against the Panthers here today, Florio. The Eagles are looking for their 9th straight win, and that would tie a franchise record. Let's go to the second quarter. The Panthers, very aggressive in this one.
How about Bryce Young coming back out here? He looks so confident. Finds Tommy Trimble right here for the touchdown. Carolina on the move early in this game.
How about that? The fourth quarter, the Eagles are actually down 2, so Jalen Hurts trying to get something going in the pass game.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts, playmaker with his legs today, but finds Calcaterra right there for a touchdown. No Goddard, no issues.
Yeah, Dallas Goedert on IR with that knee injury. So under 2 minutes, the young man, Bryce Young, this is as spry and happy as we've seen him in a game.
4th and 7, calm, cool, collective. Bryce Young finds one of his favorites on the day. Adam Thielen, the savvy vet, kept making plays today.
Decisive with that 13-yarders, and then this looks like a game-winning play right here.
We were going crazy in the viewing room. We was like, oh, Bryce Young, he did it. And replay shows Leggett could not hold on to this. They were so close.
Okay, so that brings up 4th down and last chance for Bryce Young.
Bryce Young scrambling around. He did this pretty good today, buying time, but you got to stay away from big play slay coming up into the game for the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah, so that ties the team record, 9 straight wins. The last time they did that was 2017, and that's when they won a Super Bowl. Meanwhile, Saquon Barkley, over 1,600 rushing yards on the season, on pace to break the NFL record set by Eric Dickerson. All he has to do is average 120 yards per game. He's already done that 6 times this season. So the run game is hot, okay? The pass game, maybe not. But let's let the players and coaches weigh in.
I think they did a good job. I think we did a bad job. And that starts with me, how I execute, and ultimately, you yearn and I yearn for better synchronization amongst that.
What are some things you think that the offense needs to improve on? Passing.
And now it is time for the home team help. Sims, what is going on? You could hear the frustration in the locker room.
Yeah, there's issues. They're too talented to look like this in the passing offense right now. Last few weeks, Jalen Hurts barely over 100 passing yards. We know they have an incredible tandem at wide receiver. There's pass plays simply that you just got to pull the trigger here and throw that to A.J. Brown. He's open. He's A.J. Brown. And we see too much of Jalen Hurts looking at the rush, sometimes leaving the pocket in those situations and leaving yards on the football field. Their offense is not very complex when it comes to the passing offense. They do it, it's simple. They don't dress it up. You don't see motions or shifts. I don't know. Let's hit the best receiver in football on the underneath route right there and see what he does after the catch. Then when you do that, yeah, Jalen Hurts is a little off. The passing offense in general is just off kilter right now, Maria. Jalen Hurts has got to get back in order, and they got to do a little more creative stuff to help him out a little bit as we go forward.
All right, that was the Lowe's home team help. I mean, listen, Jalen Hurts, 23 total touchdowns, just 2 turnovers during this 9-game winning streak, and they've won 10 games, so it's hard to poke holes and try to figure out what needs to change, but how do you approach that when there is room for growth right now in the pass game?
Let's take a breath.
Yeah.
We've won 9 straight right now, and I think other teams will turn on this Carolina film, the way they play defensively. They're 1 catch away from winning the game. But I think the Eagles like this style. Jalen Hurts had 59 rushing yards. He didn't turn the ball over. They won another game.
Yeah, and Carolina has played a lot better.
They have.
The big thing for me is keep all that frustration in-house. The teams that ultimately win the Super Bowl get better week after week, but do it in-house. You don't have to make this thing a public spectacle. You won the game, embrace it, and move on.
Yeah, a lot to celebrate, too. Saquon Barkley set the Eagles single-season rushing record in this game.
A lot of good things to talk about.
A lot of good things happened. All right, it's time for tonight's DraftKings Sportsbook 3 play. For that, we say good evening to Matthew Berry.
Maria, before we start, I just want to say happy birthday to my mom, Nancy Berry. She is 80 years old today. And I talked to her earlier today, and you know what my mom wants for her birthday more than anything? At least 25 yards for Will Dissly. It's true. It's true. Listen, Ladd McConkey is out, so the Chargers are going to need someone else to step up. And I love this matchup for Dissly. No team in the NFL allows more yards per game to opposing tight ends than the Kansas City Chiefs. So give me at least 25 yards for Will Dissly tonight for me and my mom. All right, now on the Chiefs side of the ball, I thought Isaiah Pacheco looked a lot better than Kareem Hunt last week in his first game back, so I expect an even bigger workload for Pacheco tonight. By the way, the Chargers have allowed a running back touchdown in each of their past 2 games. I said Pacheco makes it 3 in a row tonight. Give me an anytime touchdown for Isaiah Pacheco. Finally, in the passing game, DeAndre Hopkins is one of my favorite players in the NFL, and he's quickly becoming one of Patrick Mahomes' as well. His target share has increased each of the last 4 weeks, and he has at least 4 receptions in 3 of the past 4 games. I say he does that again tonight. I'm taking the over on DeAndre Hopkins' receptions tonight. Dissly, Pacheco, Hopkins, that is my DraftKings 3 play for tonight, Maria.
All right, thank you so much, Matthew. Travis Kelce and Chargers kicker Cameron Dicker, both nominated this week for the NFL's most prestigious honor, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award. It recognizes players for delivering greatness on and off the field. And nationwide and the league are proud to celebrate all 32 nominees who've gone above and beyond for their teams and their local communities. The winner of this year's Walter Payton Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide, will be announced on February 6th, 3 days before Super Bowl 59. We've got an update coming for you with the Bills and the Rams. Chris, what's the latest?
Well, Buffalo just scored a touchdown. Josh Allen quarterback sneak. They had to use a timeout when they got down in there. Have to go to the onside kick. Rams got it. Looks like they're going to pull this off. Buffalo's only got 2 timeouts left.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that. We're keeping an eye on Steve Kornacki's big board. Coming up next, he's breaking down the NFC South for you. Don't go anywhere.
Defense comes up huge.
We are the disruptors, the agents of chaos, the ones who refuse to settle for anything less than greatness.
When the sky goes dark, that's when I arrive. Under pressure, I'ma come alive.
Blue Thunder, what a surge of power! You los mil per soldier.
I'ma shine in the shadows, even when the stakes are high.
Intercepted, Derwin James ends the game.
When the world questions how we persevere,
F-150 through the line.
we look them dead in the eye.
Welcome to the Bolts.
Proudly proclaim.
The Chargers win.
We are the
Year 1 as an NFL defensive coordinator for Jesse Minter, and he leads the #1 scoring defense, and he's made an impression on the Harbaugh family. John Harbaugh's staff back in 2017, big break under Jim Harbaugh with Michigan. Now after a national championship ring, he is back in the NFL with Jim, and it helps to have a guy like that and Derwin James on his defense, leading his defense. That is, so Rodney, what should the plan be tonight for that defense against the Chiefs?
I'm looking forward to, I think this is the matchup of the night, Derwin James versus Travis Kelce. And I told Derwin, I said, get up in his face, jam him, slow him down, beat him up as much as you can. You got within 5 yards that you can put your hands on him. He's a little older now. Get your hands on him, jam him, slow him down. And I think Derwin James is going to do exactly that.
Well, I hate to disagree with you, Rodney, but I think the matchup of the night is going to be those edge rushers of the Chargers against the Chiefs offensive tackles. Bosa and Mack and those guys get one-on-one against the Chiefs tackles where they've struggled all year. In fact, they've got their 3rd left tackle playing tonight, DJ Humphries. He's been here less than 2 weeks.
He sure has, Coach. We got more information coming up on him in act number 7 as well. But Patrick Mahomes, let's come back to him. 3-time Super Bowl champion before the age of 30, but he always seems to be back to work before the season. Chris Sims stopped by Kansas City to ask Mahomes what he still wanted to do better.
what's the one thing you go, I could do better here?
I think for me is finding that right balance. I want to get back to attacking downfield just because I feel like it opens everyone else up.
Yeah.
It makes it easier for guys. It makes it easier for the run game. It makes it easier for Trav to work in space. I've been the quarterback that's attacked only, and I've been these last few years where I've been underneath a lot more than I'd ever been. And so I want to find that balance of where I can still attack downfield and still hit underneath stuff as well. And I think you saw that with Tom in the kind of that middle part of his career where he was throwing the ball deep and attacking downfield, but still picking you apart underneath.
Yeah, I want to see bombs away Mahomes
Yes,
too.
sir.
All right?
Yes,
I do want to see that for sure.
Hey, look, we all want to see bombs away Mahomes, but it hasn't been working out so far this season. Mahomes ranks near the bottom of the league in several stats when throwing the ball deep this year. And that leads to our player spotlight brought to you by State Farm. Jason, Chris, why hasn't it clicked?
Well, let's unpack it a little bit because we know he could throw it deep, right? That's not the problem. Hollywood Brown gets hurt first preseason game. Rasheed Rice is done for the year, or for the most part of the year. Left tackle issues. Isaiah Pacheco not in to get people to scream up there, get close to the line of scrimmage, and that's led to off-kilter deep passing game.
Yeah, and just a lot of near-miss opportunities down the field. This is worthy of the first-round pick. This guy can run as well as anybody, but he's open down the field. He misses a little bit. He steps on the line. There's some missed opportunities here that could make the complexion of this thing look completely differently. The biggest issue for me, though, Tony mentioned it, you just mentioned it, it's the left tackle. Mahomes have been under duress all year long. You just need some time to throw these balls down the field.
That's right. They got to fix that issue. Let Mahomes feel comfortable in the pocket, stretch the field a little bit. Then all the underneath stuff, the Kelsey and the tight ends will open up with holes there.
Yeah, but the best things Kansas City did last year, they embraced who they were down the stretch, and it took them to a Super Bowl championship. Forget the idea that we're going to be back to 2021. Embrace this team. There are a lot of weapons coming together. Hopkins, Kelsey, Gray, Pacheco. They can be a really good, effective offense, throwing the ball underneath and running the ball.
Yep, they got to find a way, Maria. They usually do. They're the Chiefs.
Well, that was a look at Mahomes brought to you by State Farm. Let's take a look at the defense, Devin. They gave up 433 yards through the air to the Aiden O'Connell-led Raiders on Black Friday. We were talking about the defense being top-notch to start the season. It's kind of faded to black.
Even without L'Jarius Sneed, we said this is a defensive football team. Jalen Watson gets inserted. He tears his ACL. Najee Johnson becomes a starting corner opposite McDuffie. Last week, they pulled him and put in Joshua Williams. They have a visit set up with Steve Nelson. So what is going on with this defense? They need to figure that out. They've given up more points. Even though the offense has gotten better, it hasn't shown because this defense just does not look the same from the beginning of the season.
Yeah, and even last year, they were second in the league in defense just a year ago. Also, guys, the Bills game has finally gone final. We're going to get the highlights to you for that. The Rams walk away with the victory. But let's get back into our highlights. And we go to the NFC South, starting with the Bucs, taking on those Raiders. Baker Mayfield, Buccaneers trying to win their third straight game. To the first quarter we go. Mayfield finding his rookie.
Oh, they came out on fire. Baker Mayfield was firing. They were running the football. They got the rookie from Washington, McMillan, going early on. They were up 14-0 in total control. And then the Raiders took back control of the football game. It looked like they were going in here for a go-ahead score. Aiden O'Connell throws a really bad interception, Maria, and that really swayed the momentum back in Tampa's favor.
Yeah, the rookie Tyke Smith walks away with the interception. Then Mayfield finding his rookie, McMillan, yet again. He's going high step all the way into the end zone.
I like it. Looks good. Good hamstring exercises. They need a big-time receiver there other than Mike Evans to start showing up here down the stretch.
Buck wins their third straight. They take sole control of first place in the NFC South. Speaking of the NFC South, the Falcons, Kirk Cousins, returning to the Vikings, who we left just this offseason, signing a 4-year deals with Atlanta. We're all tied up at 7. Cousins intercepted.
Kirk Cousins' first drive right down the field scored. Second drive, Minnesota hit him, and that changed the things. And look, do your dance, Minnesota. Best celebrations in football right there.
I don't think anyone's having more fun than the Vikings. They did the Ray Gun celebration, Parent Trap handshake. Like they do not miss, okay? Now Sam Darnold's like, I'm going to spin it to my guy 1-8.
Sam Darnold said, you know what, forget about Kirk Cousins. Today is my day. He finds Justin Jefferson right there, and he said, we are not done, JJ.
Why was he so wide open here?
What ends up happening is, Coach, I was on defense. He turned me around a little bit. I saw the ball ball. The ball saw me. I fell. I looked up. Justin Jefferson was doing the gritty again in the end zone. My bad, Coach.
My bad. Justin Jefferson had 7 receptions, 132 yards. Bijan Robinson, though, going to run it up for a 13-yard touchdown. That ties the game up at 21.
Atlanta stuck around. They continue to fight Bijan, but it was just too much Sam Darnold and these weapons. Jordan Addison, big day today. He did his dance all day in the end zone. 3 touchdowns for the young man.
Sam Darnold, career highs in passing yards and passing touchdowns. He's like Kirk Cousins' homecoming. Where? Where is it?
Show Sam Darnold some love, everybody. Kirk Cousins gets back out here, though. He says, I'm not done yet. Maybe he's been all-out blitz by the Minnesota Vikings. Byron Murphy sticks one hand out, showing DBs are just as good as receivers.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
But they're not quarterbacks. And guess what? Chris Sims hung out with Sam Darnold after the game.
Tell us about that the Jay Jettas touchdown where you scrambled in the pocket, moved out to the right, threw the bomb down the seam there. That was one of the plays of the year, in my opinion, for Sam Darnold.
Yeah, it was one of those plays where, you're happy that the guy came free so fast. I was able to kind of react to that and make a play, dodge him, get out of the pocket. And, I heard on the sideline coming back after that play that Jets ran an incredible route to get open. And he was still open after, I was able to kind of get out of the pocket and scramble. So it was, obviously just a great play all around by our guys blocking up front and Jets being able to find the open space.
How about all the buzz this week, right? I mean, Kirk Cousins coming to town. How did you handle all that talk, that pressure? You're supposed to be a downgrade from Kirk Cousins. Then you go out there and throw 5 touchdowns and show him who's boss today.
Chris, that is what it is. I'm just trying to do my job. Every single game, every single play. That's just been my mindset all year, and that's not going to change.
All right, Chris, we see you with the mess. Sam Darnold, he's certainly surging over the last 4 games. Kirk Cousins, though, is struggling, Jason.
I liked how Sam put Simsy back in his place on that, though. But it's been bad for Kirk lately. No touches, 8 interceptions, played so well early. They seem out of whack, out of rhythm. He doesn't look comfortable at all.
All right, well, the remaining record or schedule for the Falcons could bode well for them. But let's talk about the NFC South a little bit more, Steve.
Biggest shakeup of the day, Maria. 6-6, both of these teams were coming into today. The Bucs get that win, move to 7-6, move to first place in the division. Their chances of winning the NFC South and that home game in the playoffs that would come with it leap to 64%. The Falcons, with the loss, their chances of winning the division down to 34%. Remaining schedule for both teams pretty manageable, each with only one opponent left over 500. But let's broaden this out and put in context what's happened in this division. These are the odds of winning the division. Go back 5 weeks. This is the Falcons. This means they were prohibitive favorites. Remember, they were sitting at 6-3 now. They've had a little bit of a tough schedule since then. Talk about like the Vikings today. They've played the Chargers. They've played the Broncos. They haven't won any of them. Meanwhile, the Bucs were sitting at 4-6 a month ago. Look what happens when you get a little bit of a soft schedule and you take care of business. They beat the Giants. They beat the Panthers. Today they beat the Raiders. They have first place now. They are favored to win their 4th straight NFC South, but trip up just once, the Bucs could be in trouble. They have lost to the Falcons twice. If it comes to it, Maria, the Falcons still have that tiebreaker.
All right, well, that is the NFC South. We're going to talk about the NFC West when we get back. The 49ers trying to get back on track after that snow game against the Bills. The Seahawks trying to hold on to the number 1 seed in the NFC West. And the Rams, slowing down Josh Allen. We got the highlights coming up next.
All right, here we go, boys. Here we go. Everybody in the room. That's the way to start. Let's go, Reese.
Hey, guys. What's going on?
It is time for Pick 6 and Win.
Intercepted. It's going to be a pick 6.
This is Football Night in America, served by Applebee's. Welcome to the Hyundai Sunday Night Kickoff.
Let me tell you something about Kansas City, my town. In KC, you play with everything you got, and you find a way to come through in the biggest moment.
The Chiefs are back-to-back Super Bowl champions.
You'll feel the love of this entire town forever.
Kansas City Royals world champions.
Trust me, I'm lucky enough to know.
High drive and home run by George Brett.
Patrick Mahomes' legend is far from finished, and he's already an icon.
Third Super Bowl in 5 years.
A guy that has all the pressure on his back, but somehow always finds a way to get it done.
Mahomes, magic, touchdown! A perfect throw.
Our guy in our town on Sunday night.
All right, Royals legend George Brett. He delivered the first World Series to Kansas City 4 decades later. Patrick Mahomes, he's kept the locals walking around like winners. We are on the field presented by Hyundai. It was a defensive dragout in Week 4, the first time these two teams met. So what now decides round number 2 tonight, Coach?
Well, I think it'll be the same way. I talked to both quarterbacks in the warm-ups. Patrick told me, hey, we've got to execute in the fourth quarter like all of our games. And Justin Herbert told me that Jim Harbaugh's message was, we just have to have fun tonight.
For the Chargers, a bunch of Chargers told me this is not just another divisional game. This is like a playoff game for them. Now they have an opportunity to really see and gauge exactly where they're at as a team. So they're looking forward to it tonight.
It's going to be physical, it's going to be tough, and it's come down to the fourth quarter.
Coach, you mentioned a little earlier that left tackle position for the Chiefs been their biggest weakness, really, in pursuit of another ring, and they brought in reinforcements, signing a veteran left tackle in DJ Humphries just 12 days ago. Tore that ACL of his last season with Arizona. He is back healthy, and he will make his first start on Mahomes' blind side tonight, Maria.
All right, we're going to get you back to the highlights, Jack, starting with the Bears on the road, taking on the 49ers. Brock Purdy, Niners, they're trying to avoid losing their third straight. Luckily, they get the Bears, and Purdy and George Kittle get going.
Yeah, that was the theme of the first half. Purdy was on fire. Kittle was awesome. Had 100 yards in the first half, 150 total on the day. Phenomenal showing by him.
Yeah, 5th career game with 150-plus receiving yards. Ties Travis Kelce. How about that for the second most? And then later, the rookie, Isaac Guerendo. He's going to rush it in.
Isaac Guerendo had a good day, and then Juwan Jennings continues to show up week after week. The defense played well. Purdy was 20 for 25 for 325. He had a good day. Hopefully this 49ers offense will get going.
Yeah, Thomas Brown losing that first game as interim head coach. Have we ever seen a more dominant half? I'm not sure.
Have we noticed? Don't fire your coach in the middle of the season. It's not working out.
Yeah, Matt Eberflus fired the day after Thanksgiving, and so far, so bad. The Seahawks taking on the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals looking to tie the Seahawks for the division lead with a win here. First quarter we go. The Cards are up 4, but Kyler Murray with the mistake.
Yeah, just been really impressed with Seattle's defense as of late. A lot of big takeaways. They're settling in, and these are game-changing plays.
Okay, so on the ensuing drive, trying to capitalize here is Geno Smith and the offense.
Geno threw it to 9 different receivers in this game. When he got in there close, Jackson Smith and Jigba one more time on the corner route.
19-yard tutty is good. The Cardinals will try to answer here. Unfortunately, Kyler Murray intercepted it.
It's the same story. He looks flustered in the pocket. He throws one up, and the Seattle defense opportunistic, taking it away one more time.
That time by Kobe Bryant, and then 5 plays later, again capitalizing are the Seahawks.
Hey, Deb called him Chardonnay earlier, not Chardonnay here. This guy went for 134 and 2 touchdowns. This is how this guy wants to play defense and run the football.
Yeah, Mike McDonald said, boom, we're in there. 4th straight win for the Hawks. Stafford meeting Josh Allen in the middle of the field. Let's go straight to the second quarter. Bills down 3 and punting.
Jacob Hummel with the block. Chris Sims said it earlier. This was going to be a shootout. But then a game-changing punt block gives you 7 points without your offense even taking the field.
This is the highest-scoring game of the season, Devin. All right, let's go with the Rams up 10. The run game actually worked for the Rams as well.
Williams is able to dominate on the run game. Buffalo likes to keep those safeties high. The Rams said, don't worry, we'll run the ball all the way down the field.
Williams, 87 yards rushing in this one. And don't call it a comeback, but here come the Bills.
Every time this team got close, they said, hey, Superman, Josh Allen, take one in the end zone. 3 TDs rushing, 3 TDs TDs passing Josh Allen, a bad man.
Down by as many as 17 in this one, then he's going to sling it.
That was like a 30 or 40-yard handoff. Look at this ball. It hits him right in the chest. He had no choice but to catch it.
Incredible throw right there. All right, so they're in it. We've got a 4-point game. Gets the extra point, a 3-point game. 3rd and 5. Stafford looking for Puka.
Almost a 7-minute drive. The Rams got a penalty. They accepted the penalty, but then the Rams pick it up, and then Puka Nacua says, everybody, night-night.
First career multi-touchdown game for Puka Nacua, 162 yards on the game. And look at it, Stafford's helpers. Ho, ho, ho. Kyron Williams as well running it in for a couple of touchdowns. That's a good way to stop Josh Allen. Get everybody involved. It's time for the All-State check-in. Sims, break down Puka's big day.
Wow, well, I mean, Nacua Matata. It means no worries in L.A. these days, okay? And, yeah, with Puka at wide receiver, add that with Cooper Kupp, they're dangerous. And this guy continues to impress. This might be one of the catches of the year. Over the shoulder, ball past him, toe taps it, the body control, insanity in the membranity right there. That really was phenomenal. Then again, back shoulder throw, kind of pushes the DB by, the body control, the strong hands, and then late in the game, right? That's what you can expect from this guy. You blitz, they can throw a screen, he can make it happen after the catch. He had a rushing touchdown today. The offense in Los Angeles runs through Puka Nacua, Maria.
All right, that was the All-State check-in. I don't know what membranity is or whatever it was that Chris just said, but are we surprised with the outcome of this one?
We knew it was going to be a shootout. I think we're a little surprised at the way Buffalo Bills have been playing, but you just said it. It's hard to keep that going.
It sure is, and the Rams are healthy. They got Puka back. They got Kupp. Stafford looks like a young man again, and it's just hard to maintain that. They had the snow game last week. Hard to go out to L.A. and get another one.
How about Josh Allen, though, in this? And even in the loss, he's the second player in NFL history with 3 passing touchdowns and 3 rushing touchdowns in a game, responsible for 6
He's ridiculous.
Those are big numbers.
A lot of happy fantasy owners today. Happy ones.
And you're not one of them. Meanwhile, Seattle, do you think anyone can catch the Seahawks in the NFC West?
Right now, they're the team in the NFC West. They're playing good. Defense is creating turnovers. The thing that has really I've loved, their secondary is stepping up. They have the guys there. They're playing to it, and now they're playing Mike McDonald's defense.
So much more consistent on defense. I just like the balance. Early in the season, it was Geno. It was all about him throwing the ball, getting Chardonnay going, and running the football. That balance is going to help their team down the stretch.
All right, that's the opinion. Let's get to the analytics. That's what Steve Kornacki is here for. Let's hear about the NFC West, Steve.
Yeah, well, sorry, Cardinal fans, but no one took a bigger hit in the NFL today than the Arizona Cardinals. Look, they had the golden opportunity at home against Seattle. Had they won that game, their chances of winning the NFC West would have been about 50%. Instead, with the loss, barely a pulse now, 4% for the Cardinals. Now, meanwhile, for Seattle, obviously now up to 8-5, keep the win streak alive, nearly a 60% chance of holding on to this division. Schedule, though, could be a challenge. Packers on Sunday night next week. After that, the Vikings. And now, 1 game behind Seattle. The monster upset over Buffalo. It's the L.A. Rams. Now, a 33% chance for the Rams to win this division. But throw that number out for a minute because the Rams actually control their own playoff path. Why? They got a Week 18 date at home against Seattle. If the Rams can get to that game, a game behind Seattle, all they'll have to do is win. It would be a sweep of Seattle for the year, and the Rams then would take the NFC West. What a huge win they got today. And just put this on your radar, too. At 7-6, the Rams now just 1 game behind Washington, sitting in that 7th and final wild card spot.
All right, thanks, Steve. We got a win coming on NBC. We got the Packers and the Seahawks next week. All right, back to tonight's game, though. It's time for Barry's Bet, brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Matthew, who you rolling with?
Hey, Maria, as you well know, it was a tough weekend for Chris Sims and his Longhorns.
Oh.
But I think it starts to turn around tonight with Dicker the kicker. That's right. I'm taking Cameron Dicker over 1.5 made field goals. Hey, he's made at least 2 field goals in 4 straight, 7 of his past 8. He is one of the most accurate kickers in the NFL. Chiefs enter the week ranked top 10 in red zone defense. When teams get close versus Kansas City, they often have to kick. Dicker should get a couple of chances tonight. So that is my Barry's Bet for tonight.
DraftKings Sportsbook is the #1 place to bet touchdowns, and new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the app and use promo code SNF when you sign up.
We got the Chargers and Chiefs on Sunday Night Football, less than 10 minutes away to our kickout off and inside the locker room. Players getting ready for a showdown.
Khalil Mack.
Yep, Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs looking for their 9th straight division title. But Chris Jones and the defense looking to shore some things up. He stopped by to chat with Rodney Harrison a little earlier.
You guys can clinch the division tonight. How much did you guys talk about that as a team?
Didn't talk about it much. I think it's more so winning the game. Seeing what areas we can take advantage of and making sure we ensure a win at the end of the night.
Outside of yourself, give me a player that we should pay close attention to you think is going to ball out tonight.
Offensive line, man. I think they're going to come in and handle business and get things done up front.
30 minutes before game starts, what's your typical pregame routine once you go in the locker room?
NBA young boy, a bunch of it. I'm going to recap, look over some of the notes, the game plan, and I'm going to separate myself from everything, get in a dark place, and get ready to play football.
Well, all the best to you, Chris.
Got to go get in that dark place. He was like, y'all got questions about our offensive line? I don't.
No, yeah, he's ready. He knows it. He's been blocking against them all week.
All right, time for the best time of the day, Sunday Fun Day, which is exactly what Sam Darnold and the Vikings had against Atlanta.
Minnesota trying to win for a 6th consecutive time. Justin wide open, caught, and for Sam Darnold, that's a high five. Touchdown! Sam Darnold was Houdini for the day.
To get invited to the Vikings cookout, okay? Because they're going to have a party, and check it, they were cooking the Falcons defense. Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, Sam Darnold. You don't want to see them coming right now, and you got to stop one of them, right? Maybe not.
Right? McCourty, you got to stop one of them. You can't have that
game plan coming into that. What are we doing?
Let them go off.
Why are we blaming Devin?
All right, let's talk about the Steelers. No George Pickens, no problem for the offense.
No problem. Russell keeps cooking. Here's Mike Williams, back shoulder, nice throw, good body control, little push off. We know it, but rubbin's racing sometimes. That's how it goes. And this is the play I love, Maria. Russell Wilson, dime, laser, down the middle. And Freiermuth is one of the better pass-catching tight ends in football.
Meanwhile, the Dolphins, they're not finished yet, Jason.
Yeah, don't look now. Tua was on fire late in the ball game. Throw it to Tyreek Hill. Tyreek had one of his best games. And this guy late, Jonnu Smith, caught 3 in overtime and the game winner. Dolphins look good.
Devin, do you want to go off about a Jersey boy?
What do you want to know about being
They're
from
everywhere.
Jersey? Yeah, this is what it's about when you're from Jersey. Derek Rizzi, go back home. It starts a little bada thing, but you start with your family. You see the love. This is New Jersey, family photos. We're going to get to the game, but this is also Jersey. You're pissed. What are you doing? We can't do that. Get off the field. Kamar, come help me pick up my stuff. There's just a lot going on right here. But then, with all of the love, the yelling, the screaming, it's jubilation, it's celebration, it's victory. Welcome to New Jersey.
True Jersey psycho. Just like me.
Highs and lows. Highs and lows.
Honestly, Devin, could you do play-by-play? Like, we need it in our life, apparently. All right, it's time for tonight's home team picks brought to you by Lowe's. America's pick. 52% of you are going with the Chargers. Oh, America is split.
Wow.
America's not sure.
Wow.
How is football night in America
What about
doing?
us?
Yeah, how are we living?
Oh, okay. Okay, we're not enemies?
We're not, no, yeah,
Okay.
we're always enemies. We're always enemies.
That's an opportunity for you,
Oh, I
Simsy.
see it.
Yes.
That red vest, I'm coming for it.
So, okay, Rodney and Coach are on opposite sides. Guys, walk us through your decisions.
All right, Maria. Well, Chris Jones talked about the offensive line. I think what that means is helping them with tight ends and running game. I think we'll see Noah Gray and Isaiah Pacheco be a big factor, and I think we'll see the Chargers running the ball, Rod.
Yeah, but I don't think the Chargers are going to win this game coming here trying to run the ball 30 times against the Chiefs. It's going to be Justin Herbert. He has to make plays in the passing game. Back to you, Maria.
All right, appreciate it. Devin, you're rolling with the Chiefs. Talk to me about that.
No Lab McConkey. I think this game lines up for this Chiefs defense. They can match up, play man-to-man. No one scares them. They're going to let Chris Jones and those guys up front eat.
Yeah, I agree completely. They stop the run. They play good man-to-man. No threats on the Chargers. The big key in this ball game is which quarterback runs the ball better to extend plays and make big plays down the field.
Yeah, I hear that. I second what Rodney says. The Chargers better not try to go 3 yards in a cloud of dust up the middle tonight. That's not going to happen. They're going to have to attack, back this defense off a little bit. What do
we think on the other side? Do we think the Chiefs are going to move the ball? I mean, on this Chargers defense all night?
I do. I think we'll see more Isaiah Pacheco. And I think what you guys talked about earlier, the Chiefs are this close to having some explosive plays and things happening, and it's gotten better week by week, so I think that takes off tonight.
But again, the strength of the Chargers defense is they force you to get a little frustrated and impatient. So embrace who you are, drive the ball, you get down there, score some points down the red zone, embrace that style, you can win the game that way.
Yeah, that, and then we got to watch new left tackle tonight. What's it going to look like? Mahomes has had to look over his shoulder for the last 6 weeks in a row. Every time he drops back, now it's Khalil Mack, right? It's DJ Humphrey's first game in a long time. He's got to deal with Bosa and Khalil Mack. That won't be easy.
You got to want to avoid third downs if you're the Kansas City Chiefs. Run, get first downs on first and second down, and not allow those tackles to have to protect for long.
And we'll see if the Mahomes connection to that guy, Travis Kelce, shows up in tonight's game. Chris Jones is in his dark place. He's ready to rock and roll. Those were tonight's home team picks brought to you by Lowe's. We've got the 11-1 Chiefs looking to wrap up their 9th straight AFC West title. Enjoy Mike, Chris, and Melissa. We will see you at halftime.
This has been the Hyundai Sunday Night Kickoff. Spanish language audio provided by Telemundo Deportes. Or watch tonight's game in Spanish on Universo.